Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Maths in an Empty Classroom with me, Mr. Southern. This is part one of the lesson on reciprocal trig functions, and in this lesson I'm just going to be identifying the reciprocal trig functions and showing you how to use them. So, there are three further functions that we need to be aware of that are known as the reciprocal trig functions. The first one is sec theta, we then have cosec theta, and we have cot theta. And the reason that they're called the reciprocal trig functions is that sec theta is 1 over cos theta, so the reciprocal of cos. Cosec theta is 1 over sine theta, so the reciprocal of sine. And cot theta is 1 over tan theta, so the reciprocal of tan. Why do we have them? What do we use them for? Well, if you are given a value of theta, say for example we were asked to find the value of sec 30 in degrees, you don't have a sec button on your calculator, so what you would have to do to find that is you would have to write it as 1 over cos 30. And of course, because you know your exact trig values, you can tell me that cos 30 is a half, which means that is 1 over a half, which means that the value of sec 30 is 2. So simply using a value of theta and substituting it in. Say for example we were asked to find cosec of pi over 3. Now in radians we would use the fact that cosec is 1 over sine. So we would write 1 over sine of pi over 3. You would obviously tell me you're using your exact trig values, that sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. So 1 divided by root 3 over 2, which is 2 over root 3. But your calculator, when you type it in, will rationalise that for you to 2 root 3 over 3. So that is the value of cosec pi over 3, obviously in radians mode. Okay. So start off by identifying which function it's the reciprocal of, write it as reciprocal, substitute it in, job done. However, what we tend to do more of is we use these to solve equations. So say for example I had the equation that sec theta was equal to 3 over 2. Now, you could start off by writing that as 1 over cos theta and then manipulating it, but don't mess around with that. Just think, okay, the reciprocal of sec is cos, which means that cos theta equals 2 over 3. And just do loads and loads of practice getting the hang of that. So if, for example, we had that cosec theta was equal to 2, we would be writing that sine theta equals 1/2, because that's the reciprocal of cosec, the reciprocal of 2. Similarly, if you were given that cot theta was 2 over 5, the first thing that you would be doing in solving is writing that tan theta equals 5 over 2. And that is normally the first step to solving trig equations with reciprocal trig functions. Join me in the next video where I'll go through an example of solving an equation with a reciprocal trig function. I'll see you then.